Every day, students, teachers, and schools around the United States are preparing for some kind of test. Schooling was not always like this, though. As generations were brought up to adapt to the world, early 1900s education focused on assimilating immigrants. The mid-1900s was on the space race, and after 1983, the focus became that of comparing American students to those in other nations, especially with the increase in competition for employment and development.
It's time to come together to get it done so that we can truthfully say in America, no child will be left behind.
Reflective of a time period, former President Bush put forward the 2001 No Child Left Behind Act with benchmarks for improving a school and measuring its success. This idea may have sounded well-founded and good, but as many students would say,
because we're just testing over and over again.
They just add a lot of stress to students because obviously we never know what to expect. Well, I mean, there is prep work that you could do, but honestly, there are various questions that are broad.
I think we do it way too much.
along with this act, the number of standardized tests instituted between pre-K and high school graduation rose to an astounding mandatory 112. Aside from all the side effects it has on students and schools, the initiative within itself seems to fail at its own purpose. Instead of increasing scores, they have generally remained stagnant or have even shown signs of lower scores. At any rate, students experience a great deal of stress with the pressures to perform greatly. It certainly doesn't bode well that they do not consider outside factors, like whether a student is a good test taker or not, his or her emotional health, or even just having a bad day, all of which hinders a student simply because of a large significance placed upon a single or couple of tests. As such, these single occurrences possess so much weight to the point that the bubble's field directly shape and can even determine the future of students, teachers, and for some, whole schools. Quite possibly, the most important detail to remember is that this is a system. The tests have a function. As such, trends are common.
Minus vouchers.
That we cannot afford to wait any longer to craft a serious national response to what is clearly a serious national problem.
Each of you will get a dry erase marker, and your group will get a tissue to wipe it off. So you're going to work the problem on the whiteboard.
Teachers, whether because they are evaluated based upon student success or because they genuinely want to help their classes, a common trait of a classroom becomes teaching the test rather than the subject, all because of the test's significance.
I think I would have liked to see an emphasis in technology even more, and I would have liked to see a curriculum developed to help kids in the real world, like have a home ec class where it would help with like domestic and financial chores.
In this way, students are connected even more to their teachers and their schools. Underperforming students, seen as not as intelligent by the tests, can mainly get into underperforming schools. Underperforming schools do not get funded as more investment is placed into the students deemed to possess more potential. Students experience significantly less growth in non-supported schools. These students then cannot get into higher tier colleges.
To categorize them in a way so that if students want to go to universities, obviously how we've been doing, universities simply classify a student based on their standardized tests, how it's measured, their intelligence, I guess. and you get quicker results. If you had to measure intelligence in a different way, it would be more complicated and such things that it would just be confusing.
I think we need to do more like projects and just other ways of testing rather than just doing bubbling letters all the time and always having written tests. I think there's other ways to assess people.
There is brightness. There is talent. There is character, all seemingly trapped within the system. We are not numbers, nor are we letters. There's no sign of when it will change, but in endurance and strength of character, maybe then the world can see.